Queen Carvania stood haloed by the morning sun. An army hung on her every word.
My champions, I have sold my chariot on Carvana. 'Twas a lovely SUV, an inexplicably queenly offer. They're even coming to the castle to collect it. Tonight, we feast! An offer you can feast on. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The biggest name.
You're locked on to Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaCombe, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Such a great song. There's some songs that, like, I don't care where you're at on the musical spectrum. I don't care what you like, what you don't like. I don't care. You hear this song, you immediately, like, start just nodding your head a little bit. Like, this is iconic in terms of everybody. This is a song that's impossible not to like.
It makes me want to grab one of those slim weed, that you pull off. What are they called?
A little.
You know what I'm talking.
A little stock.
Stock weed and just throw that in your mouth. And you got to be careful when you talk about weed in your mouth.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays. But,
a little grain stock, yeah.
Yeah, just, country. Makes you want to be country. What are we doing with the set list today, by the way, Lloyd?
Oh, that's a good point.
Because I sent it in, but
You didn't have Fishing in the Dark? This
I didn't
wasn't
have
yours?
any of these on my set list. So I know there's been, it's busy around here.
It's been a crazy day,
right, so.
For sure. All right, we will see this guy coming up tomorrow. He'll all you need to do is, if you're watching video streams of maybe press conferences, find the best dressed dude in the place, and that's going to be Shehan Jeyarajah. He joins us now, CBS Sports, kind enough to hang out with us. Shehan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
You got the wardrobe all picked out for the next couple days?
I'm preparing. The nice thing about this one is that since it's a home game, I have my whole wardrobe available to me. So
that's right.
Bring out something special.
Yeah, no Vegas here, man. It's this is a home game. Yeah, that's right.
Hey, man, I get to hang with Shehan. Can't believe it. I get to meet in person. I'll be the second best dressed. I'm packing my sport coat. I'll wear that over a T-shirt or something, but that will at least get me in the running.
I think so too. The thing is, right, like whenever you go to these events, it's kind of like evenly split. People, dressing a little bit professionally and people just showing up in like anything. And so, that was one of the reasons why, like, when I first got into sports writing, I'm like, man, these writers don't dress for anything, man. I think that I can outdo that.
No, a golf shirt that's about 2 sizes too small from a bowl game from 10 years ago. And tucked into tight jeans. It's just like, come on. We can classy this up a little bit. Let's go. Hey, Shehan, some big storylines, obviously. What are the 2 or 3 things that you're really looking at going into this thing tomorrow?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? I mean, look, let's obviously acknowledge we're going to get a lot of Brendan Sorsby conversation as this is the first time that Texas Tech and Brett Yormark have been under the gun. But let's put that aside for a second. I think we've talked plenty about that the past couple of weeks. For me, it's really about it being a period of transition, I think, in the Big 12. There are so many coaches in this conference that were mainstays who are now gone. I'm thinking Kyle Whittingham at Utah, Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State, Chris Kleiman at Kansas State, Matt Campbell at Iowa State. Like, these are guys who have really been the face of the conference for so many years. And I think that actually creates a little bit of a vacuum for some of these new guys to potentially step up. Now, look, I think that Joey McGuire and Kalani Sitake are kind of in that conversation, right? After what they've done the past few years. Kenny Dillingham as well, I think brand-wise is also one of those coaches who's breaking out on the national scene. But I absolutely think that there's an opportunity for, even at media days, for somebody to come out and really kind of establish themselves as a name and a face to watch. I think back, obviously I'm a Baylor grad, back in 2017, Baylor coach Matt Rule took the podium for the first time. And after his talk, everybody was like, oh, okay, we get it now, right? I think that there's an opportunity for some other coaches to potentially do that as well. I'm thinking of a Morgan Scalley at Utah. I'm thinking of a Colin Klein coming to Kansas State, where he obviously led them to a 12-win season just 13 years ago. So, this is, I think, a big opportunity for a lot of coaches, and I'm excited to see who takes that opportunity.
A lot of explosive names on offense in the league this year, but probably none more than LJ Martin, who's decided to come back and play at BYU. How big is that for BYU, Shehan, and what do you expect from LJ in this in his return year here?
Yeah, it's absolutely massive, right? I mean, this is a player who I think back to 2 years ago, right? I mean, all sorts of efficiency numbers, the tape, they all said like he had the potential to be one of the best running backs in the Big 12. And in 2025, we finally got a full healthy season out of him. And he was clearly, to me, the best running back in the Big 12. And in 2026, I think he could be a top 5 running back in the country, if not more than that, potentially. So when you talk about its impact on BYU, I think it's huge in terms of bringing along that offense. Like, look, Bear Bachmeier, I expect to be a big time player, but again, we have a lot of questions heading into that wide receiver room as well. So being able to run the ball at a high level, I think will be huge for this team. And look, I mean, Texas Tech, I think, is a little more beatable with Will Hammond in the lineup than what they would have been with Brendan Sorsby. BYU absolutely has the roster, has the juice, has the talent to be able to win the conference if some things break right. And LJ Martin's a huge part of that.
If BYU, now look, okay, I know injuries and all of that can come into play. It's a long season, but as of right now, is it Big 12 championship game or bust for BYU?
I think it is. And I mean, I think that when I look at the Big 12 right now, I mean, I do think that we are probably going to get a rematch of what we saw last year in the Big 12 title game with Texas Tech and BYU. I think that right now they're ahead above the rest of the league. And there are other teams that can certainly get close. Utah's still going to be really talented. I think that watching Houston and Arizona this year is going to be interesting. I think TCU could play spoiler. But like when you look at one, what they've brought back, two, Kalani Sitake's decision to turn down Penn State and stay in Provo, three, I think also just the level of investment that's been put into this program by BYU. Like this is a team that should expect to be there. Now, you kind of ask like, is this Big 12 or bust? I mean, look, this is a team that I think for the next 5 years should expect to be contending for the Big 12 title game every year. If they miss out based on a tiebreaker or something, I don't think people are going to see this as a failed season by any means, but they should absolutely expect to be there at the end of the year, and they should be in the 10-win conversation. They should be in the college football playoff conversation again.
Every preseason, prediction that I've been able to look at, has a variation of BYU and Texas Tech 1-2. But Utah's pretty much solid at 3 in most things I've looked at. Houston, I guess, is another one hanging out there. But with Utah, what do they have to do to unseat Texas Tech and be better than BYU this year? Because they really don't have, a player per se. But what do they have to do as a team, and certainly with a new coach, to be able to jump into that mix?
I think the biggest thing for them heading into the year is they really have to establish an identity on offense, because last year we saw it, right? I mean, this was one of the best offenses in the Big 12 with Jason Beck, of course, running some of his option stuff with an offensive line that was arguably the best in the entire country last year. And I just don't know that there are those obvious pieces and players, like you said, in 2026. Now, it helps a lot. They've got 2 quarterbacks that I feel really excited about in Devin Dampier and Bird Ficklin. But, again, it's going to be behind more of a new look offensive line with a new look offense as well, with a new offensive coordinator coming in. The other thing, too, is that I think that they have to continue to develop their depth on both sides of the ball, because they did lose some key pieces over the offseason after the departure of Kyle Whittingham. So, look, I mean, I think that they were clearly good enough to win the Big 12 last year. They just happened to lose the 2 that they couldn't lose this year. Well, they don't get Texas Tech this year. That's certainly going to be huge. They get BYU in Salt Lake City this year instead of having to go to Provo. So, again, it's more going to be, can you get back to that level that you were at last year than necessarily having to take a giant step.
Shehan Jeyarajah, CBS Sports, right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. There's always somebody that comes out of nowhere that you're not expecting to really challenge. Who do you think that team is this year?
Yeah, you could probably make a list of 6 or 7 of those teams this year, because I think the league, again, after that top 2 potentially could be really, really tight. I mentioned them earlier, though. TCU, I think, is a team that has actually gotten pretty undervalued over the past couple of years because, look, they haven't been in the Big 12 title discussion since they went to the national championship game in 2022. But this is a team that's won 18 games over the past 2 years. And I know that a lot of people are pointing out that they lost quarterback Josh Hoover, but I actually think that Jaden Craig coming in from Harvard could potentially lead to very little downside at the position. And I actually love the addition as well of Gordon Samus, the offensive coordinator coming over from UConn. This is a team that I expect to be more balanced on offense and defensively under Andy Avalos. They've actually done a really good job these past couple of years. So, I think that if you ask people, I don't think that they'd realize that TCU has been the best recruiting program in the Big 12 over the past 5 years, ahead of Utah, ahead of Texas Tech, ahead of everybody. This is a year where I think that maybe some of that talent really is able to pay off.
Throw some names at me, high-level names of guys that you expect big things from across the league this year. Maybe a name or so from offense, defense.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is going to be, I think, an opportunity for so many players to come up. I think that certainly for me on defense, Isaiah Glasgow at BYU is a guy that I think, could have been in the All-America discussion last year if he wasn't a little overshadowed by his teammate Jack Kelly as well at times. I think that Glasgow is going to have a chance to maybe even be the Big 12 Player of the Year, although he'll have some competition in his own defense with Keanu Tanuvasa and Faletau Satuala as well. But Glasgow, I think, is the kind of disruptive player who just can really change an entire team. Offense, it's so interesting, right? You mentioned LJ Martin. I think that Texas Tech's running back room led by Cam Dickey is going to have a chance to be really good. So I'm actually going to go with a little bit of an off-the-board pick. I'm going to go Trey Spivey, the wide receiver at Arizona. I think he's going to be a really good fit in a second year with Noah Fafita at quarterback. And again, this is an Arizona offense that really found itself to end the year. So I think that he's potentially a player that can step up, but like Amarion Miller at Arizona State is another player, right? DJ Lagway at Baylor coming in. There are so many players in this conference that I think have a chance to go big. I didn't even mention Drew Mestamaker as yet, the quarterback at Oklahoma State. This is, I think, is going to be a really interesting year, especially on offense.
Do you see a world that exists where the Big 12 might get 2 teams into the college football playoff?
I do. I 100% do. I think that last year for BYU, right? Like they were the second team out. And frankly, to me, I think they should have been in, and their schedule kind of didn't do them any favors. Well, I think this year the schedule does them a lot more favors. And I'm actually looking at one game in particular for BYU that potentially could change everything. They don't have to win it, but if they play Notre Dame close, I think that changes the way that people look at this BYU team. I think that people kind of looked at them as, well, they played one elite team and they got crushed both times against Texas Tech. I think that playing Notre Dame as well, and I think is a really big opportunity for them to show, hey, we are at that top level of team. And the other thing too is that I think that this could easily be a team that finishes 11-1, could be right there, could play a closer game against Texas Tech. Again, I think that those are the two best options that the Big 12 has. But also, again, like there's a team like TCU that could get into the mix. There's a team like Houston that could get into the mix. I think there'll be more teams in that 11-1 conversation. But again, I think that really that Notre Dame game is going to be the biggest opportunity that the Big 12 has to play their way in.
Big 12, obviously the football preseason awards will be given out, or announced. But in terms of Defensive Player of the Year, I just saw an article that 11 guys were polled across the league, media members, and Ben Roberts was chosen as the preseason Defensive Player of the Year. Also receiving votes, there were 4 names, and they're all Texas Tech. So I assume Texas Tech is going to pick up where they left off defensively.
Yeah, they 100% are. And look, this is a situation, right? We're not going to see them have the kind of defensive line that they had in 2025. They are going to be good. They brought in a couple of key pieces, Trey White from San Diego State kind of being the headliner there. But I think that this is actually going to be a team that's built much more on the middle and back end than necessarily on the front end. Ben Roberts, like you mentioned, I mean, he is one of those guys who's just been in this program for a bunch of years. John Curry as well, and Austin Romaine. Like, this is the best linebacking core in the Big 12, maybe the best in the country. I think you could make a pretty good argument. Bryce Pollock as well on the back end at cornerback. I think outside of Leonard Moore, the great cornerback at Notre Dame, he has a case to be the next best potentially. So this is going to be the best defense in the Big 12. But I will tell you what, like you said, for one, I think that having so many guys, maybe that impacts the way that you're able to vote for a Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. And again, there are other teams that I think that certainly have the ability to be in that mix, especially like we kind of mentioned earlier, Isaiah Glasgow leading that BYU defense. So, I think that Ben Roberts would be a very worthy choice, but I'm curious to see what direction the voters go.
Could we see at the end of the season looking back and say, wow, the two best quarterbacks in the conference are in the state of Utah with Bear Bachmeier and Devin Dampier?
I mean, it's an interesting question, right? Like, this is as open a year as I can remember in the Big 12 at the quarterback position. I'm kind of like, I'm kind of fielding Noah Fafita as my sort of default quarterback one. I think he's earned that right and responsibility with what he's done these past couple of years. But I mean, again, I don't think that he's so dominant by any means that he is definitely going to own that spot. Now, I will say, I think that Drew Mestemaker at Oklahoma State has a chance to be one of the most productive passers in the country. Again, I think that he's potentially a player that will be a big time playmaker. There's also a lot of quarterbacks in the state of Texas too. I mentioned DJ Lagway, Jaden Craig, Connor Wigman as well. And while I don't think Will Hammond is going to be the best in the conference, I do think that he has a chance to be pretty darn good. So, for me, it's going to be a question of, well, how much more can those quarterbacks add in the drop back passing game? That wasn't something that they were necessarily asked to do a lot in 2025. That's going to need to be a bigger part of their arsenal for them to win at the highest level. So I think there's a pathway, but for me, I would probably go against right now.
So I'm going to throw Alcorn or Abilene Christian, Abilene Christian and Oregon State out of the mix on this, and just look at that Houston game on September 18th for Tech. What is the likelihood, in your opinion, right now, again, speculating a bit, that Will Hammonds is the starter for that game?
Yeah, I think he will be. We've heard that he's been on track in his recovery since tearing his ACL in October. They kind of like counting out were like, I think it's like August 18th or something like that is officially 9 months out from his injury. And they feel like that's going to be a good opportunity for him to get back into workouts. And there's no need to rush him onto the field until week 3. And, again, talking to people around that program, I think that it would be possible to get Will Hammond back on the field for week 1. There's just not really a good reason to do so with, like you mentioned, Abilene Christian and Oregon State being those first 2 games. So I do expect him back. I do expect him relatively healthy. The thing is, though, I expect a lot of rust for Will Hammond in that first game. He wouldn't have even really have gone through fall camp, much less spring camp, because of that injury. So I do think he's going to be on the field. I also think it could be a little bit of an ugly game for him.
One of the worst things you can do in life is assume, but I'm going to go ahead and do so. BYU, prior to playing Notre Dame, plays 5 games, all of which I think they should win. TCU on the road will be tough. Arizona at home, but I think they can get through it. Is there a chance that Notre Dame, BYU, you talked about it being kind of that big game for the Big 12, but could that be massive as Notre Dame's going to be preseason number 1? BYU could be undefeated. That could be a wild weekend, and I hear there's a great band playing that weekend as well at the show. Yeah.
No, 100%. This is going to be, I think, one of the biggest games in the Big 12 this year. Again, and I don't think it's one that necessarily BYU has to win, but they absolutely have to look like they belong on the field for the Big 12 to be treated as a serious conference during the college football playoff selection process. And, so this is, I think, a huge opportunity for BYU. Like you said, Notre Dame is, I think, at worst going to be top 5 in the country at that point. Really good chance, and especially since one of Texas or Ohio State will have a loss, that they're top 2 or 3 potentially at that point. And this is also, by the way, a huge game for Notre Dame. Like, Notre Dame doesn't have a whole lot of interesting stuff on their schedule. This is going to be the game that's circled most on their calendar, going on the road to play in Provo at BYU. So no, this is going to be a huge game, obviously nationally televised type of game. I expect that it's going to be the big conversation piece heading in, the way that Texas Tech versus BYU was last year. And again, if BYU is able to win that game, it would be, I'm not going to pretend to necessarily know the 100-year history of BYU, but like, you're talking about it as one of the biggest wins in the history of the program, dating back to 1984, right? Like that's how far back you have to go to get anything that would be comparable, I think, to beating Notre Dame at home. It would be a reintroduction to them to the national stage. I think that it would cement them as one of the powers in college football. It would make them, I think, a default team to make the college football playoff. So again, it is going to be a huge game. I'm really excited to see how they come out and play.
USA, Belgium, right? The script. What are we going to see today?
We're gonna see more. I thought that I was done with all the legal maneuvering and all the rescinding, and I thought that I wouldn't have to deal with that for at least a couple more months.
File an injunction.
I know it. Which again, like I think the red card was a bad call, so it's fine. But like it never feels good to be back in this situation again.
Oh yeah.
I think that the U.S. manages to get through. I think that, I don't expect Balogun to have a great game. Like, I think that there's going to be a lot weighing on him in this. But you look at the team and the way that they're playing right now. I mean, it is just unbelievably good. I think that, Weston McKennie has been as good as anybody in this tournament to this point. I think that Tillman as well, you saw that free kick that he took for a goal. I do think that the U.S. is able to get it through. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. Give me like 2-1 or 1-0 or something like that. But the U.S. moves on.
Look, I think it's cool that we're playing these games in, Seattle, stuff like that. Look, if you really want the sporting United States experience, this thing needs to be in like College Station. It needs to be in LSU and Death Valley. These are the venues these games really need to be played in.
You think that we can get them to Lavelle Edwards before?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I think it's going to be really interesting. I will say for all that, like you said, the college atmospheres and all that are big. Seattle's
going to get crazy.
Yeah. Husky Stadium, they do a really good job. Obviously, they're playing at Lumen, but also the 12th man at Lumen, they do a really good job. And Seattle loves their soccer. So I think that we're going to see a good crowd. I think it's going to be very hostile. I really hope that they can take care of business and potentially have a chance to keep moving on.
Hey, Shehan, Ty Detmer texted in. He'd like a word on that 90 win against Miami.
Fair enough. No, that is 100% fair.
No,
like
kidding.
I said, I'm not gonna sit here and be a historian of BYU football, but we're talking again back to some of the glory days.
Absolutely. I will say I was at the last Notre Dame game in '92, and there's a guy by the name of Jerome Bettis that had himself a ball game. And
yeah, he was a problem in that one. I remember that.
I think I remember that one.
The final rushing tally was Notre Dame 291, BYU 13.
Oh,
that's how the game went.
That's not good.
So 42-16.
I think the bus might be parked on the BYU sideline this year with LJ Martin. So, if he can keep it much closer in the rushing department, I think that would make a huge difference.
You're coming to that game, right? You got to be at that one.
Listen, we have a baby due at the beginning of August. I've not set my sights on anything further than that at this point.
Rightfully so, Dad. Rightfully so.
No, you're making the right call on that one. You play that one by ear for sure. Hey, Shehan, looking forward to catching up with you in person tomorrow. Have a good trip, and trip. I mean, you have a good drive to Big 12 Media Day, and we'll see you down there.
Looking forward to it. See you guys tomorrow.
There he is, Shehan Jeyarajah, right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Scott Gerard alongside the coach, Tim Lacombe. Good, the bad, the ugly, coming up next right here on the Zone.
Best thing that's ever happened to you financially. Go.
Easy. Sold my car on Carvana. Amazing offer.
Really? I hit 200 on the scratcher.
Did the scratcher come to your house and hand you a check?
No.
How many scratchers did you hit to get that? I hit a button on Carvana.com once.
Okay, that's fair.
It's like the lottery, except you always win.
Not like the lottery at all, actually.
Exactly. Inexplicably good. Offers worth bragging about. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Winners and the losers. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, here's the good.
.97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Scott Gerard alongside the coach, Tim Lacombe. It is your good, it is your bad, it is your ugly. And, let's start with the good. Team USA in action today. Let's get it, Coach. It's time for a little World Cup action, taking on those pesky Belgian waffles.
I feel guilty talking about this without Alex and a clock running.
I know. Alex?
He's going to join us, by the way. He'll join us on the air link at 12:50.
Perfect.
Oh, okay, good.
So we will get our World Cup Minute of Soccer. I took away 30 seconds, by the way, on Thursday.
Can I get a little shout out on my Cape Verde pick?
Shout out, holler.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like, best they've ever done.
I can't believe you did it.
Hello?
I
when will people, quote unquote, take note that there's magic going on over here?
I think that it's like you need to be riding this pony as long as you can in terms of listening to Coach and banking it, because Coach is on a heater right now.
We like to call it a heater. Now I could go cool. So
should they put the mortgage on it?
No,
never. No,
Okay.
I wouldn't even. Hey, look, man, the world I live in, money's hard to come by. I don't just go willy-nilly and handing it to Guido Sarducci.
No.
Yeah,
be
that's
careful.
where it ends up, right in his hand.
Yeah, and they don't give it back usually.
No, they make sure you give. If you don't, they take something else, like a bone or a knuckle. Kneecap.
So apparently Mr. Red Card's back in the game.
The president made a phone call to FIFA.
Whatever it takes.
He should have never been red carded anyways.
Yeah,
By the
exactly.
way, I don't know if you. So I took away. So Hatch and Alex co-hosted on Thursday. I took 30 seconds away from Alex Napolis because of the red card. I'm like, I cannot respect the sport that's going to.
I love that so much.
So you only gave him 30 seconds?
I gave him 30 seconds. I'm like, that's all you're getting.
Oh.
I'm like, this is such trash that this guy got a red card. And I know you've seen all the pictures of Messi and all these other players that had the exact same type of stepping on the calf of another player or whatever, and they didn't get anything, not even a yellow card. And you're really you're gonna throw this guy out?
Look,
that's trash.
I want this guy to score like 2 goals tonight.
They ought to check that official's fan duel.
And just rub their nose in it.
Absolutely.
Because all of Belgium, look, and the fact is that somebody tweeted out that Belgium was going to lawyer up. Okay, you're in our world now. Like, yeah, you want to go billable hours? Team USA, United States, we're undefeated when it comes to billable hours. We will take you behind the woodshed. And sure enough, yeah, FIFA's like, yeah, okay, we made our ruling.
We sue first and we ask questions later.
Yeah. Like somewhere, all these lawyers are like, that's cute, Belgium. That's cute, but no, you're not getting anywhere with us, because if there's one sport that we are without a doubt the world champion in, it is the sport of the legal finagling and the billable hours. We will kick your butt in anything when it comes to that. It's not even close.
Brought to you by Do We Cheat 'Em and How?
Yes. So, hey, Shehan broke it down. He thinks Team USA wins this sucker. I guess I'll take that. I do not know the ins and outs of Belgium soccer, so I'm just going to go the role of ugly American and say on to the round of, what would it be, that 8?
8?
The Elite 8?
Is that what they call? They probably call
round
it something
of 16
else.
Is probably something fancy.
Exhilarating 8.
Actually, I don't know. They went round of 16. That's pretty. How boring is that?
If soccer is anything, it's exhilarating.
The Salvation 8. Is that what they were fighting for, their salvation? Is that the term?
I love that. We survived. So
the knockout round is surviving or trying to achieve your salvation. Like that's a pretty big term. And then we get into the knockout round, and it's like round of 32, round of 16. Like, come on, let's sexy this thing up a little bit. If we're fighting for salvation, and now it's like, the round of 16.
They could put, for each round, they could put one of the boxers from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and it gets progressively harder. Bazooka Joe or whatever his name. Piston Honda. Good luck.
Yeah.
Unless you know the secret code, which is left, down. Oh, no, I don't remember.
And then
you're not far off.
The guy that goes in the circle where you got to have you got to time out your blocks when he goes in the circle.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
You got to be able to put him up when he does the onslaught.
Yeah.
That was a very, very – that game was before its time.
Oh, it was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. All right. There's your good. Let's get to the bad.
Now the bad.
I'm a little nervous. Are these from Thursdays? Good, bad, ugly? Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I will pass on that bad because I don't want to go into Jake Hatch and Alex Napolis. But, here's the thing. When you look at the fact that this soccer thing has gotten everybody upset, I actually like that Team USA's got a little role of the villain going on right now. You know, got a little political, sideways on this thing. There's an element like it's about time that for so many years, it was like Team USA in the World Cup was like BYU and they got into the Big 12. We're just happy to be here. We want to be your friend. We want to be a nice partner. We're just glad that you decided to invite us. And then over the last couple of years, BYU's turned into a bit of a villain and being like, no, we're going to kick your butt now. Yeah, sure, we'll give you your Cougar Tails. We'll give you some ice cream. We'll be gracious hosts, but when it's time to play the game, we're going to kick your butt. And BYU's done that nicely over the last couple of years. And now it's time for Team USA to kind of flex a little bit and say, you know what? Our president pulled some strings. We got our guy back on the pitch, and now there's nothing you can do. We're going to beat your butt. I kind of like that role. I do too. I actually took solace, as we were talking to Shehan, the Big 12 standings or, the predictions. I love seeing, after only a couple of years, our boys who are from the state of Utah right there at the top. Yes. And a bunch of storied teams, down, 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 down. So credit to both BYU and Utah for getting into the league, acclimating, being their friends in the beginning. Yeah, but it's always good to turn villain and get what you want. And that's what USA's trying to do. And this will be something that's talked about forever, the red card thing. But, but he shouldn't have got it. So it fixes itself. It's not like he bet on a sport. Right? No. Like this is a completely different thing. Now, the only thing that Belgium really has a chance is to find the Texas Tech judge and see if he can pull some weight on this one. Because that's about the only chance you'd have to swing this reversal. Okay, what I did is I got me $2 million from the Sorsby camp. If you guys come in strong with $3 million, I'll be happy to give you an injunction. Yeah, you want him out of that pitch? I'm your guy, but it's going to cost you. That's the judge, in case you were wondering. I love your time down in Texas, man. You got to figure it out. Also on the bad, LeBron James has narrowed his list of teams that he's willing to play for next year down to 10. Please go. Is there a way you could play in the Chinese league this year and just report back how it's going?
If there's enough money, I'm sure there is.
Hey, it's not about money this year, Lloyd. That's what he said.
Rich Paul telling ESPN, this is the first time LeBron James is making a decision pressure-free. He's won already. He's made good on his promises. He won in L.A. This now is strictly for his happiness. What does happiness entail? It's a number of things. It's a bucket of happiness. It's basketball. It's living. It's camaraderie. It's competition. It's everything. And here is your top 10 for LeBron James. Philadelphia, Cleveland, Denver, Minnesota, Miami, the Knicks, Golden State, Dallas, Boston, and San Antonio.
Oh, it's big. Big of them.
Yeah. Look,
he's going to go to San Antonio.
That's what I would guess. But honestly, look, if you're Philly and you've got Maxey, you got Edgecombe, you've got Brown, you're like, we're good.
Dude, I think they're like Boston. You could have traded him a little further away.
Yeah.
I mean, they made that team really good. Those two guards and him. And if Embiid could just stay healthy.
Yes.
Just play 70 games, which will probably never happen. But if he could, man, that's a scary thought. It's a way more teeth than Paul George.
Philly does seem like it's a bit of it's getting talked about a lot. In fact, Rich Paul said, LeBron enhances everything there in Philly. He unlocks everything there. Now Tyrone Maxey is also a Clutch client, so there you go.
That is true.
I hate that we have to constantly say that.
I know,
By
right?
the way, he's a client.
Clutch client. It's rumored to be that if he does in fact go to Philly, the Liberty Bell will heal.
Oh, really? Yeah, he unlocks that too.
Yeah, everything. He will unlock it all.
All of a sudden, that crack just starts to
and over time,
come together.
They're going to, over time, they'll be very competitive during the regular season, fall short in the playoffs, time after time. But then that bell will heal, and LeBron will have been the reason.
But it's just for his happiness. You know what? And it even said, look, he'd be very good for VJ Edgecombe. He can come in and teach him how to really play the game. VJ's going to be just fine. Like, if I'm VJ out there, I'm like, look, I appreciate that. But you know what? I think I like the trajectory I'm on right now. I'll also, I think there's a lot of people out there that that this is an opportunity for Rich Paul to send LeBron somewhere where there's some stars that may not be under that Clutch umbrella, and then get them to ditch their agency and come over to Clutch.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's all about Clutch. His name's not Poor Paul.
No.
It's Rich Paul.
He's doing just fine.
Doing just fine, Adele.
Oh, man. All right, there's your bad. Let's get to the ugly.
The ugly.
Good, the bad, the ugly, right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. UFC star Dustin Poirier says that his personal struggles with his father issues, with alcoholism, with his ongoing struggles with a retired life contributed to his arrest for public drunkenness last month in Atlanta. Was arrested at the airport, charged with public drunkenness after he aggressively confronted multiple employees. The arrest happened on Father's Day, which he said was not a coincidence. Said, my father has been in jail plenty of times for alcohol-related stuff. He's actually homeless right now. Part of that, me being drunk at the airport. And it's not my weight to carry, but I tried to help him, and he's back on the street. On Father's Day, I was traveling to work, and I just couldn't stop thinking about my father. I started drinking at the airport, and that's what led to the incident. He's also said that he struggled with retirement after he ended a 16-year professional career. I was just a kid chasing a dream. It flew by so quickly. I was scarred for the future. 20 years. I was dreaming about being the best. Now I don't know what to do with my life. Okay. How about this? Just don't drink and fight with employees.
He did this all wrong because, Dustin, you're supposed to fight during those years in the ring. And you're supposed to take all that money, and then you're supposed to just go off and do your thing. But you're still fighting. You need to stop fighting because you're not a fighter anymore.
You're not a fighter anymore.
You were a fighter. No mas.
Like when you hung up.
To borrow a Roberto Duran phrase.
When you hung up the clipboard, you're like, I'm not a coach anymore.
And they never wanted to go back.
And you're like, okay, I'm calm. I'm perfectly fine with that.
I definitely had made the decision, getting used to it and all that. There were days I probably could have ended up like Dusty at the airport. But, hey, man, you hold it together.
Said, it's hurting me financially. One big sponsor is not a sponsor anymore. I'm sure I've lost a few. I'm waiting to see when the smoke clears who's still with me or not. That day cost me not only embarrassment and embarrassment to my family, it cost me a lot of money, too. I'm losing sponsors. I'm losing gigs. I'm losing things that I had set up. Boo freaking who. Like, I understand. Like, it's tough for guys to turn off.
People get tough life, man. But, it's a hard one. It's hard. He needs to seek help.
Yes. I take personal responsibility. I don't like you playing the dad card. Just take personal responsibility. Say, I screwed up. I drank too much. I have demons, but I'm facing them. You don't need to go into details. Say, I'm working through some demons. But I take full responsibility for my actions. It was my fault, nobody else's. And it's cost me. It'll continue to cost me, and I'm going to do everything I can to repair relationships to get back to where I need to be. That's all I got to say.
And somehow work in a line about charismatic brilliance.
My charismatic brilliance will always come to the forefront.
Will see me through. Dustin, we're praying for you, dude.
Yes, absolutely. All right, 1146, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Best thing that's ever happened to you financially. Go.
Easy. Sold my car on Carvana. Amazing offer.
Really? I hit 200 on a scratcher.
Did the scratcher come to your house and hand you a check?
No.
How many scratchers did you hit to get that? I hit a button on Carvana.com once.
Okay, that's fair.
It's like the lottery, except you always win.
Not like the lottery at all, actually.
Exactly. Inexplicably good. Offers worth bragging about. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
You covered. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LeComb, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Scott Gerard alongside the coach, Tim LeComb. Kurt Heelan's going to join us coming up here in studio, hopefully in a bit. But tomorrow we will be down in Frisco, Texas, Big 12 Media Day. Your first, Coach, this is always, these are fun. You never know what's going to happen on these media days. You could be on the air for 4 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours. You never know.
I've been on so many road trips that have been just work that that's really all I know. So, from recruiting to trade shows to all the different things we do. So I'm looking forward to it. And mainly as you look at the list of names, just to be able to, start a relationship with guys, kind of, get to know them, start to watch their career very closely, because that's what we do in this seat. But it's the personalities that I definitely am the most excited about.
Yeah, and that's what's fun, because everybody is somewhat in a good mood for the most part, because everybody's undefeated.
And nobody's lost a game yet.
Nobody's lost a game. Everybody has high expectations. They feel like their team's in a good place. And so outside of maybe some people in Lubbock, people are probably going to be in a pretty good mood. Yeah,
and everybody's got hope, because they got new guys. And the one thing we all do is think that all you got to do is tweak it a little bit, and maybe we get what we want. There will be an outlier that nobody's talking about, and like Shehan said, I think it may be TCU. They've just recruited so well, and they have that metroplex to recruit from, the state of Texas to recruit from. It's a gold mine for football, man. It really is. And so one of the things I want to do while we're there, if we have time, I want to take you past my old stomping grounds.
Let's go.
It's about 20 minutes probably, but show you just the high school I went to and our football field that the Party Hounds played in, by the way.
Probably not the knowing how football stadiums there, high school stadiums are there in Texas. Probably not a small field.
No, I mean, it was really big at the time for us. It was 23,000, 25,000.
What?
I mean, they're bigger down there now.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
It was big. And we had, the coolest part, it was a high school team that had AstroTurf, just like the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And
torn ACLs to come with them.
I mean, just write them up, left, right, and center. We weren't thinking about that.
No, nobody cared about that.
We're thinking about practicality, man. Think about the man hours you save not having to water, fertilize.
Oh, yeah. So when I was in high school, we, obviously we're playing in essentially glorified cow pastures. But then when you made it to state, you got to play in the old mini dome.
Oh, yeah. That was
Pocatello.
Quite a sight.
And so you were all excited because you're like, oh, this is real school AstroTurf. And then you played on it and you're like,
they forgot the
sucks.
padding. Yeah.
Yeah, you're essentially playing on concrete, and you're leaving pieces of your skin everywhere over that field. You're like
the old Astros stadium.
Yeah, I don't like this at all.
The original version, the Rice-Eccles that I remember back in the day, that turf was like that. I mean, I remember because they play all the high school games, and everybody talk about how hard it was. And man, turf's come a long way. Now we've got the stuff that just
little pellets
that just stinks the whole neighborhood up. But nonetheless, it's pretty maintenance free.
Hey, by the way, have you seen this story on Kerr Kriisa, the Kentucky basketball player?
I have not.
Kerr Kriisa?
I've not heard.
You know the player though, right?
I do know him. Yeah, he's yes, I do.
Played at Kentucky, Arizona, West Virginia, Cincinnati over 6 seasons. He has been arrested and indicted on a $2.2 million fraud scheme. Allegedly carried out a scheme to obtain nearly over $2 million from multiple victims using false representation, fabricated identities, and deceptive communications. Apparently, he would go and tell people that his mom had cancer and needed treatment and send him money. And then he would be, by posing as his mother in another scheme, he allegedly told one victim he needed money to save the family's farm. He also allegedly acted as a woman named Irene. Come on, Irene. To sign a fraudulent promise to repay one of the victims $100,000 by a February deadline. I just kept doing this over and over and over, just catfishing everybody, and to the tune of $2.2 million.
It's no wonder he could never make a jump shot.
Yeah.
He had a lot of other things going on.
So, yeah, I mean, we thought maybe, he decided, look, gambling, that's for losers. I'm going to go complete identity fraud.
It's so funny because I remember this kid well, and I remember Even at BYU, Cody Feger was recruiting him and darn near got him.
Oh, okay.
But he ended up going to Arizona. I always, just watching him from a distance and how he carried himself, thought he was a little fast, honestly. That, I wouldn't know I'd go to $2.2 million in fraud schemes, but he seemed a little quick. And, the gut's usually right if you trust it.
There's sometimes where, they don't give you a reason at the time, but you're like, something just doesn't seem right here.
Yeah. And, especially when mom chimes in about the family farm.
Yeah.
Again, there's a reason the dude who came over to play basketball and could have had a really great future. There's a reason he didn't do very well in basketball because his attention was very divided.
Well, yeah, like he had a lot of irons in the fire here.
And if you're going to choose one or the other, the way you're going to make out on the other deal, I think that might take most of your time.
Cincinnati last year, he averaged 5.8 points per game, 3 assists before at a separated shoulder in February, missed the rest of the season. So, yeah, interesting.
I mean, I think he had a pretty decent first year.
Yeah.
And I think everything went downhill from there. Yes.
But, yeah, he made the rounds. He was all over the country, Kentucky, Arizona, West Virginia, Cincinnati, over 6 seasons. 4 schools in 6 seasons. And milked about everything he could, not only out of his playing career, but also of a lot of victims as well.
And should maybe be the poster child NIL of this era of it anyway. This cash grab where, hey, every single year I'm going to go see if I can get more. That's kind of what he did. The most he ever averaged, in fact, was he averaged 11 points in 2023 in 23 games. So all that from less than 11 points, most of it. I mean, he was a little fast, man. A little fast. And couldn't shoot.
I mean, that's a problem there.
Couldn't shoot consistently. So, yeah, that is that's a saga, what we call a saga.
Yeah.
Of Kerr Kriisa.
Kerr Kriisa is now in himself let's just say he's in a world of hurt. A lot of pain there. All right, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone, high noon. You and I, hopefully, by the way, we've already got one notice from Delta that our flight has been delayed a half hour.
You know what that means, everybody that travels?
Yeah, when you get it that early in the day.
There's a plan.
Yeah. Let's see. I got our flight was supposed to leave about 5:40. I got the text from Delta at 9:54 a.m. We're sorry. Your flight has been delayed by 37 minutes. It is now departing at 6:17 p.m. Yeah, usually when you get those dominoes start falling, that could be a problem.
The nice thing is they haven't done it again.
No, yeah.
Because they typically follow that about an hour later with another one. So we'll stay tuned. But we plan to go tonight to Dallas.
We might be needing to reach out to any listeners that are, working for Delta. Like, hey, if you could find a way to get that plane off the ground, we would certainly appreciate it.
That would be cool. That would be very cool.
All right. Hey, look who's going to be hanging out with us in studio. The great Kurt Helin joining us next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
4th of July savings are happening now at the Home Depot with select appliances starting at $398. Plus, get free delivery on appliance purchases of $398 or more, no membership required. Upgrade your kitchen with a modern and sleek GE Profile refrigerator featuring hands-free autofill for the perfect pour every time. And make laundry day easier with 2-in-1 washer-dryer combo innovation that completes laundry in about 90 minutes. Shop top brand appliances now at the Home Depot. Offer valid June 17th to July 8th. U.S. only. See store online for details.
Best thing that's ever happened to you financially. Go.
Easy. Sold my car on Carvana. Amazing offer.
Really? I hit 200 on the scratcher.
Did the scratcher come to your house and hand you a check?
No.
How many scratchers did you hit to get that? I hit a button on Carvana.com once.
Okay, that's fair.
It's like the lottery, except you always win.
Not like the lottery at all, actually.
Exactly. Inexplicably good. Offers worth bragging about. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.